It's Sunday, July the 5th. Yesterday, our country was 250 years old. The land of opportunity. Is it still the land of opportunity? The American dream is the national ethos of the United States, defined by the Cambridge Dictionary as the belief that anyone, regardless of background, can achieve prosperity, upward mobility, and happiness through hard work, determination, and initiative. Okay? That's how our country was founded. 250 years old we are. May I remind you of that? But in the last 25 years, my belief, maybe I'm wrong, but we have grown at a speedy pace that is not good because it just went by too fast. Hi, Roy. Thank you for coming. Okay. Hopefully, we're going to have more people join us. People probably still out traveling, celebrating. Rooted in the Declaration of Independence. Now, you hear that all the time. You hear about our Constitution all the time. The Constitution of the United States, which every senator, every congressman, the President of the United States, they all take the oath. There was a day when our Congress, our Senate, and our presidents did the right thing. But all that has changed, and not for the good. Okay, rooted in the Declaration. I want to read this to you, folks. I do my research, I come with receipts. Rooted in the Declaration of Independence, the concept is tied to the unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The exact phrase was coined by historian and writer James Trudeau Adams in his 1931 book, The Epic of America. Adams described it not merely as a pursuit of material wealth, but as a dream of social order in which each man and each woman shall be able to attain to the fullest stature of which they are innately capable. It's up to you if you want the American dream. If you're counting on our government to give it to you, well, folks, you live in the wrong country because that is not going to happen. It's always been based upon your ability, your initiative, all right, and how hard you want to work. Okay? Remember, working smart is better than working hard. All right? Thank you, Joshua. Lucas, thank you for coming. All right? There was a time, home ownership. You get married, you're 20, 21 years old, have children, you want to buy a home. There was a time when you could buy a home. But what happened? Most of the homes that are for sale are being bought up by these big companies. They're buying them in masses. What are they doing with them? They're renting them out. The prices are too high for the average person to buy a home today. And that's terrible because that's part of the American dream to own your home. And even if you own a home, once you own that home, You got to continue to pay taxes every single year. Who gets that money? Our government. My God, is that Frank Panessa? Frank, how are you, my friend? Folks, everybody say hi to my dear friend, Frank Panessa. It's great to see you, buddy. Oh my God, what a surprise. Okay, this is awesome to have Frank here. Folks, let me tell you who Frank is. Frank Panessa is one of this guy infiltrated all five crime families, plus the crime families in Sicily. Okay? You have no idea who we have in this room. This guy, he's a legend like you can't believe. Frank, thank you for coming here. All right, everybody, look up Frank Panessa. You will see I interviewed him. You will see he was on Vlad, okay? And there's hopefully some good things in the work that you might see someday about Frank. All right, you got to, folk, oh my God, what an honor to have him here. Thank you, Frank, okay? Mm. Boy, I've had some surprises last day. Uh, 2 days ago, I got a call from an old agent of mine out of Poughkeepsie, New York, and he's done big things now. Oh my God, he's selling all the insurance in Mexico. He lives in Las Vegas, and I mean, 50 years I haven't talked to him. He called me the other day because his granddaughter saw me on YouTube. So some great things are happening, folks. But let's get back to the American dream, okay? Now, I still believe the American dream exists, but it's going to exist in different ways. Social media. When I got out of prison 13 years ago, yeah, and I got my first phone. I mean, look at before I went to prison, we had those flip phone phones. Remember? All right, there was no texting and all that stuff. There was no YouTube, none of this stuff. Okay? But look at what's developed. Now everybody's a content creator, an influencer, okay, and everybody's staying at home with some sort of job, and some people are making money doing it. I come here, I'm not making any money, I'll be honest. I come here because I got 81 years. I've been around almost one third of how old our great nation is. So I got a lot of wisdom that I could share with you, and I hope you appreciate it. Huh? Uh, and CB asked me, I was in prison the last time for RICO charges. Okay, Colombo crime family. I was arrested in 2008. Now, folks, if you want to hear more about my story and everything, if you're on TikTok, all right, Jason Bourne, the Bourne Ultimatum, doing a show at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't want to miss this, folks. I'll be there in an hour or two. I'm going to be telling you stories, things I've done in Hollywood, and many other things that I've done in my life. Okay, so you don't want to miss it. All right, so it's going to be on TikTok. All right, and if you're not on TikTok, well, please go there and watch me this evening. I appreciate it. Okay? The rags to riches narrative. The idea that through grit and merit, anyone can build a successful life, career, or business. Folks, you can still do that. But things are changing. Now we got AI. AI is replacing a lot of jobs. All right? We got, and you're from Milan? Thank you for being here. We got people from Milan. We get people from all over the world here. Okay. I think that's really amazing, folks. And folks, don't forget, subscribe, like, all right, and all that good stuff. Okay. I don't ask you for money. I don't ask you to hit that thanks button a million times. But if you want to, go ahead. Okay. It's all appreciated. All right. The promise is that an individual can improve their social economic status regardless of the circumstances of birth. So no matter who you are, what color you are, where you come from, you have opportunity here in the United States. And this is why so many people from other parts of the world want to come here. And you know what? It's those people who come from other parts of the world that do extremely well and become successful. All right? Why is that? Why is that? Because they come from another country and know that the American dream is still here. But this morning I heard some discouraging news that 51% of our people in the United States do not believe the American dream still exists. Folks, it does. But you got to change your mindset. You got to accept. Look, I hate technology, but we got to accept all these things that are happening at such a fast pace. Okay? Now, it was always a dream. Every parent wanted their child to go to college, become a doctor, a lawyer, whatever. Okay? You know, want to become successful. Okay? If you want to be happy, college is not necessary. You need some education. I hope the hell you know how to read and write. Because a lot of people in our country don't know how to read or write. Damien, no, I'm not going to accept that China will become the world power over the United States. China's much older than we are. We're 250 years old. Okay? Let me tell you something. The United States is the fourth largest country in the world in area after Russia, Canada, and China. The national capital we all know is Washington, D.C. The fourth. Okay? We got 51 states. All right? Damien, no, I'm not a Zionist. So, Damien, please be respectful. If you have an intelligent question, I'm more than happy to answer it. But, folks, do an intelligent question. Can you do that? Because I'm talking about something serious here. I think it's serious, the American dream. All right? No. What's the modern perspective? While the ideal remains a profound source of optimism and a driving force for immigrants, modern cultural and economic reality have altered the perceptions of the dream. Many contemporary discussions center on issues like income inequality and the rising cost of living, leading to a debate on whether the dream is thriving or becoming harder to attain. Today, younger generations often redefine the traditional dream to include a flexible entrepreneurship, pursuing passion projects and holistic well being alongside traditional makers of success. Okay? Yeah, freedom. Okay? Folks, so now you don't have to go to college. Now I'm going to use an example of one of the closest people to me. That is my son. Okay? My son, down in Florida, he quit school. Then he got a job with UPS. I think that lasted about 2 weeks with him. Didn't like that. Boom, out of it. Then something happened. His company, his cousin, worked for a pool company that went out of business. And my son created the idea of, with his cousin, to start a pool business. This is 30 years ago. My son is extremely successful. God bless him. This kid works hard every day. He's one of the biggest pool builders, not only in Florida, but in other places. Major hotels call him to build their swimming pool. There's only two building contractors in the state of Florida that know how to build a pool on top of a roof. My son is. Yeah, he quit school. But look at what he's accomplished. Okay? My son handles all the commercial. My grandson now is with him in the company. My grandson handles all the homes, home swimming pool. Okay, residential. Okay? So he's got a company, he's got almost 100 people working for him. Okay? So, yes, the dream is still there, but you got to look at life differently. Okay? You know what AI is not going to replace? Electricians, plumbers, auto mechanics. The list goes on and on. So today, and we had it when I went to school, okay, trade schools, where you could learn different trades. And folks, if you're creative, okay, if you just want to make a living and you want to work 40 hours a week, yeah, you could do that all your life. But if you want to be in entrepreneurship, it's still available here in the United States of America. Yes, Fox, I do like the Lord, Lord of the Rings. Now, everybody wants to know the story of the painting. Is the story of my painting behind me in the title of my show? No, it's not. Okay? So, folks, the American dream still exists. But what's people want to know today? People watching politics, they're watching cable news. All you're doing is putting negative garbage in your head. All right? Why are you doing it? I don't have my TV on. I turn it on in the evening to watch a movie or TV series, okay? To relax. I don't want to watch the news no more. I don't give a shit what they're doing, all right, our Senate, what they're not doing, all right? All right? Now, I sure got a pretty mouth. Thank you, Mandy. Mandy for everybody. Give Mandy a hand there. Okay? Folks, I got a friend that I made from TikTok. She's in the cleaning business, doing very well. All right? Doing commercial and residential. Yeah, cleaning with rags, dish soap, cleaning apartment. She got people doing it. Okay? She's building her company every day. Okay? Folks, who washes cars? All right? You need people to wash cars. There's money in that. If I were younger, I'd get some rags and wax and go out and clean cars and start a business. I've done it before. All right? So there's so many things that you can do to make your American dream come true. Lance, you like Robert De Niro? Yes, he is an awesome actor. The arrest of an Air Force major called to impeach and arrest Vance and Trump. What? I don't have any thoughts on that. I didn't see anything. All right. Ah, Cold says the Jews bought and sold the American dream for 30 million. Look, they got a lot of money, but they didn't do that, okay? All right? Lots of trolls today. You know why? Because let me tell you about these trolls. If they're real people, okay? They're negative individuals. They got no life. All right? They don't know what love is. They don't know what empathy is. Okay? Because they're so unhappy that it's pathetic. Okay? So let's take a look at these trolls. Instead of thinking nasty things of them, let's feel sorry for them. Because they're people that are not well read. They're not intelligent. Okay? Judah Brown says, well, Judah, I've been saying that, okay? I said this a long time ago. Nobody wanted to listen to me, and now everybody is waking up. Our government is the real gangsters. They got rid of the mafia, okay? They got rid of organized crime because they made up the laws. But what did they do? They took over. Now they're in charge, okay? You say Trump made 2 billion. No, he's made over 4 billion. Okay, he's made. I think it was 2 billion. All right, just with his son Eric in the Bitcoin business. All right, Bitcoin. He didn't believe in Bitcoin before. Remember that? But now he does. Why? Because when he opens his mouth, he can make the stock market go up and go down. All right. He can do that. Just one man. That's all. Any president can do that. Make the stock market go up, make it come down. And he's doing that every single weekend. But nobody pays attention. Oh, and now somebody says something about it. Okay, he's made over 4 billion. He's made more money he ever made in his lifetime. Okay, more money. But look at, he's not the only one. All our presidents have done that. None to this. None have done it to what Donald Trump. He's taken it to new level. Uh, New levels. Unbelievable. And he ain't stopping. Don't think he's going to stop. Okay? Mango Pasta. And my friend, honest to God, I was not a fan of The Sopranos. Okay? I got to be honest with you. No, I wasn't. All right? Lance, you can give me the 50th like, huh? Well, we're a 52. Okay, thank you. All right. Hey, folks, I really appreciate this. You know, and I want to remind you all here tonight, once again on TikTok, these guys are going to be interviewing me. I'm going to be telling you story that Ori that you never heard before. things I've done in Hollywood, things I've done around the world. Okay, you're gonna love it. All right. Speaker of the House. Eh, Look at you know what? I won't even forget his name, Mike Johnson. I think another no burger. Okay. Will Evan, your father ended his bike delivery newspaper. I used to deliver papers when I was 12 years old. Great start, okay? And getting new customers, okay? I don't know. Are there still delivery boys out there, folks? All right, I'm not sure. I don't know. All right, boy, there should be. You know why? More people need to start reading. Here is a gorgeous Cadillac. That was a 57 Cadillac. I found out 1957 that was. All right. You did it, Ivan. You did it. You folded a newspaper. I used to fold them. I know how to do it. All right. Let's see if I can do it. All right. Take a newspaper. All right. Then boom and throw it. Yeah. I still remember how to do that. I didn't need a rubber band. Okay. Yes, Stolad. I believe in God. Absolutely. Mandy, you had a paper route, 13 years old. God bless you. See, Mandy? And you're a very smart gal. There's going to be good things coming to Mandy, folks. I know that. Okay? Folks, I can't tell you, just in the last month alone, I have purchased for three different people that I spoke to the book Think and Grow Rich. Now, throughout my lifetime, I probably bought over 100 books of Think and Grow Rich that I gave to people. A lot of you go out there and you see these people on YouTube, follow me, do this, do that. On my course, 2,000, 3,000, 1,000. They begin you with something small and then they'll get more. See, the whole idea, like a con man, okay? And that's all they are is con man, all right? When I was conning people out of money, I'd ask them for a check. Yeah, you gotta give me that. Give me two, $300. Okay? Nothing. Okay? See, once they write that check the first time, you got them. Okay? Now you just keep going and you keep building it up. Now that's what all these girls, whatever you want to call them, motivational speakers, charge you all this money. All right? Are they motivating you? Are they helping you? No. They're helping themselves with your money. You could spend $10, not even $10, on Amazon and buy the book. I got hard copy books, I got old copy. Think and Grow Rich. All right. And follow the principles. In this book, this is all you need because you got to change your mindset. And you change your mindset, you will find out that the American dream still exists. So don't get despondent that it doesn't. Don't think that it doesn't. All right? Uh, True wrong. All right, somebody gave you Think and Grow Rich book, some dude. Well, he gave it to you. Why don't you take the time to read it, all right, and follow the principles in it. I'm going to tell you a story of a 19-year-old girl. I gave it to over 50 years ago in New York City. This young girl, this is a true story, folks, because I don't come here and bullshit you. This is a true story. This young girl was a model for like Bloomingdale, Saks, local in New York. She wanted to become an actress. And she was going to move to California. So I had her meet me in my hotel. She lived in Yonkers. And I flew into New York City because I lived upstate and I was in New York. I kept a place in New York at the Warwick Hotel that I maintained for over 35 years. And she met me, and I gave her the book, Think and Grow Rich. And she moved out here to California. Many years later, I moved out here. I had not seen her in many years. I didn't have her number, none of that. I was at the Scandia, which was a place we used to hang out at up on Sunset Boulevard. When a friend of mine came walking in, and he said, I saw Renee Jones last night. She asked about you. I said, oh my God. I said, you got her number? He said, yeah, he gives me her number. So I called her up, and I took her to dinner over on 3rd Street. And we're having dinner, and she says, she pulls out her purse. She says, Ori, I thank you so much for this book, Think and Grow Rich. She says, I never leave home without it. I read it in every audition, every place I go. And she had the book. It was tattered, written all over. She had her notes. She said, maybe you could help me now, she said. I'm making $25,000 a week. Can you help me invest my money? Boy, I tell you, as a con man, I was tempted, but I did the right thing. I told her, find a licensed investor, your agent, okay? You know who Renee Jones is, folks? She retired. She was on, I think it was Days of Our Lives. She played Lexi Carter, okay? So go look it up. You will see. Yes, she read Think and Grow Rich. But she not only read it, she followed the principles in it every day of her life. Folks, she's not the only person that I have given that book to. All right? I've given that book to some people that become multimillionaires. So, folks, you can do it, but you got to change the mindset, okay? You got to stop the way you're thinking. You got to think positive, okay? I know we live in a world that wants to make you negative, especially if you watch cable news or even on YouTube. Some of the channels give you negative shit. You don't want to hear it. We got to survive on our own. We got to wake up in the morning. We got to be happy, smiling, have energy, okay? And Mandy, I hope that you are another one of the stories that I can tell someday. Okay? Hello, White Low Entertainment. How are you? Huh? No, that ice. You want to be positive with a lot of money? Make the money. Okay? Don't expect somebody to give it to you. Okay? I'm 81 years old. I still got to work. I can't live on my Social Security. Who could? Okay? Thank you, Deep. Sure, I look fabulous. Yeah, God bless. Thank the Lord, folks. Okay, I'm still here. Okay, being positive, helping other people out. It might be a simple hello, good morning, good afternoon. I tell you this all the time. Do you do it? Okay. Do you do that? Tony Montana. You're the Tony Montana I know? My God. Haven't seen you in a long time. You still over at CBS? Huh? Carter Carter said, I love you as a pastor. Well, look at I pray. I'm a fairly religious guy. Okay, but being a pastor, there's a lot of people that are better at that than I am. Okay? Thank you, Kay Kennedy. All right? Thank you so much. All right, folks, are you subscribing to my channel? Are you hitting that like button? Okay? That's a good beginning for you to change your mindset. Give appreciation to people who come out and give you content. Okay? Because if if one person learned anything at all from me today, then my talk was well worth it. Okay? It's like when I wrote my book, The Accidental Gangster, from insurance salesman to Hollywood fixer. You will see in my book where I said, if I could help one young person stay out of a life of crime, then my book was worth taking the time to writing it. All right? The best. Now, folks, I have helped several young men and women stay out of a life of crime. Okay? And I'm very proud of that. So those are the type of accomplishments that I made in my lifetime that I'm proud of. Okay? Huh? And someday, when you look back at your life, if you start being positive, you start helping other people. Okay? And I tell you, all the time, okay? Helping other people, it'll come back to you tenfold. All right? Flow state. Well, thank you, whoever put that out there. Uh, Thank you, Logan McDonald. I appreciate that. You too have a great, blessed day. Okay? Thank you, Anita. How are you? Okay? We're having old Las Vegas. Not coming back, folks. There's another thing. I tell you, I told you a long time ago. Our government messed it up by taking the wise guys off the streets. They want to put us Italians in jail. When in fact, we ran Las Vegas better than anybody. All right, but no, they wanted to bring in their corporate buddies. It's just what they did. Okay? And now look at it. Okay? I don't even want to go to Vegas. For what? I go if I get a speaking engagement and they pay my expenses, all right, and pay me. The last time I was in Las Vegas, I was a speaker at the National Auto Dealer Association convention. The time before that was when I was inducted in the Mob Museum in Las Vegas, inducted, whatever they call it. Okay? Uh, Logan, I wish I had the friends that I used to have. I don't. I'm an older man now. My friends, most of my friends have passed away. All right? Yeah, I've been to Chicago in the 70s and 80s. All right? Larry Lawton's Gangster Redemption book. No, Wild, I haven't read that one. No. Hi, Claire. Claire. Huh? Oh, thank you, my friend. I got out of prison 14 years for murder. I'm from the UK and I'm totally reformed. Now do a lot for charity. Thank you, Stan Pauling. That's an awesome story. God bless you. Thank you for that, there. Okay. Well, look, folks, it takes a lot of different things for us to learn a lesson. Sometimes it takes going to prison. If you're a bad boy, do bad things. Okay. Some people actually learn not to go back to prison. All right. Some of us are able to reform and do the right thing to help the world become a better place to live. All right. I love France. I've been there. Uh, I love it. Uh, the guy who owned the Crazy Horse was a very good friend of mine. Okay. You know, Crazy Horse over there. Uh, Varuna, I try not to carry regrets because, once again, a regret is a negative thought. Okay? Maybe the question should be, if I were able to change things in my life, what would I change? Well, I'm not able to change anything either, and neither can you. Okay? So, what I had done in my life and where I failed and what I accomplished was my destination. Okay? My destination. And I lived it. All right, Keno asked me, what do you think about Germany? I've been to Germany. I give the Germans a lot of credit. Folks, I was in, oh my God, I spent a week there. I forget the town, but I remember. Come Saturday, everything's closed. And these German, they don't go to work. Stores are closed. There's a lot of places like that in Europe. Okay? And they're all with the families, at these beer fests that they have, okay, having a good time, okay. They're happy people. Why can't we be happy? We all deserve it, folks. Regina from Florida, how are you? Great to see you. Keep hitting that like button, folks, and please subscribe. Okay, somehow they say it helps me. I don't know how, but it does. Okay, because I don't understand algorithm. All right, and keep sharing things. Keep sharing, hyping, okay, and whatever. All right. Hey, we got Vindaloo from the UK. How are you? All right, Chattanooga, Tennessee. I've been there too. Okay. I've been to UK many times. Chattanooga, beautiful place up. Yeah, went there with my friend Polly when I was in Nashville for a week. I love Nashville. Okay, the people in Tennessee, forget about it. They're great people. Okay, I didn't see a lot of negativity there. People were happy. Hydro, Oklahoma, another place. I was stationed in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Okay, I did my advanced training there. All right. Justin lives in your city. Okay. Melbourne, Australia. Boy, we got people from Melbourne here. All right. I got people from Russia. Okay. From all over the world, folks. And I want to thank you all for coming here. And I hope, and please write me a comment. Let me know if some of the things I say to you are able to help you out in your daily life. Uh, MK Ultra, you didn't know I was going to do. I scheduled it. You gotta have your notifications on so you know when I'm coming. Do you all get your notifications? Okay, let me know. All right, if you do. All right, South Central, Jay Hawthorne. You're my neighbor. Not far from me, South Central. Okay, I've been down there many times too. Got a lot of friends there. All right. Folks, keep hitting that like button, subscribe. All right? How are you, Hawthorne? Jay Hawthorne. Thank you, Regina. Happy 250 years old. 250, and we are the fourth largest country. But you know a problem that we have in this country? We're growing too fast. Okay? We got a building that's 10 years old and they got to tear it down to build something up. And that's happening all around me here in Los Angeles. I don't know about where you're from. But man, I go to Europe and I see buildings that are older than the United States is, still existing, still strong. Okay, you know why? People in other countries take care of their property like you can't believe. Thank you, Jennifer Schwab. All my love and respect to you. And for anybody that has served in the U.S. military, I thank you all for your service. And God bless you all. No, they don't make things here, Justin. Huh? Mm. All right, folks, come on. Let's get me to 100 likes today. Okay? I think I should be at 10,000 likes. All right? Thank you so much. Thank you, Tornado, a fire tornado. Thank you so much for that. Are you aware of your governor, campaign manager? Yeah, I can care less about our governor. I can tell any of you right now. I hope you're not thinking of voting for him for president. Please don't. Okay? You don't want the country destroyed like this guy destroyed California. Okay? You don't want that, folks. Trust me from somebody that's lived in California here for over 50 years. Come on, we need 7 more likes. All right, you folks got that in there today to give me 7 more likes? Come on, let's get me to 100. All right, I know you could do it. Folks, I want to thank you all so much for all the love and support that you give me by coming here. Okay, so please, all right, I got a lot of what I think is going to be very valuable, helpful information that I want to provide to you. Okay, so make sure that you are following me or subscribe to my, all right, uh, and make sure you have your notifications on because sometimes I do a spur of the moment show. all right, when I feel it's important enough. Okay. All right, so keep hitting that like button. We're at 97. Who will be the 100th person? All right, who's going to be number one to hit that? All right, who's going to do it? Come on, let's see. Come on, 98. Two more people. Come on, come on, let's keep going. 99. We're at 99. And not, number 100, I want you to send me your name over here. Let me know who you are. Okay? Who gave me that 100th like? You're gonna. Hey, Dico, you just came here. You're brand new. I hope you subscribe, and I hope you're liking. Welcome to the family here. Okay? You're going to have to watch the replay, but I'm talking about the American dream. And I'm telling you that the American dream still exists, but you have to change your mindset. Everything we do, each and every day, every second, every moment, is our mindset. I begin my days when I put my feet on that floor. The first thing I do is I thank my Lord Jesus Christ, my Savior, for another blessed day. That's the first thing. And then I thank Him for everything that I'm so grateful for three wonderful children, my grandchildren, and the fact that I got a roof over my head. I'm able to eat. I think I'm grateful for that. All right? And then I ask Him, help me make this world a better place today. Okay? That's coming from a gangster. And trust me, I enjoyed the gangster life. I loved it. It was great. I made money every day. Okay? I can't do that now. Wish I could, but I done my time in prison. I stood up. I did my time like a man. And that's what I am. I could look in the mirror and I like who I see. Your daily about Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Thank you. Oh, White Low Entertainment. You lived in LA for about a decade. When did you leave? Let me know when you left. What year? Huh? And folks, I hope everybody here has subscribed to my channel. Okay. Got no idea how much I appreciate it. Okay. Now there's some things coming out pretty soon. All right. That you're going to want to hear about, you're going to want to see. And I'm going to be telling you as soon as I get word, you get the word. Okay. Uh, but something very, very positive is in the works. And I'm excited and great. Okay. Agent Orange, look at this administration, the previous administration, and all the previous sustainers that we've had in the last 25 years have ruined this country. I don't care if it's Republican. I don't care if it's Democrat. They both have. So we can't blame just one. They're doing it equally. And America has to wake up and see what they're doing. You got to wake up. You can't be just blue and you can't be just red. You got to be in the middle and look at it and evaluate for yourself of what they're doing. Okay, what they're saying they're doing and what they're really doing are two different things. And America don't understand that. And that's why I tell you people, read, understand. And when you read between the lines. Okay? Do you know what I mean? Read between the lines so that you get the truth. Okay? I don't vote red or blue. All right? That's bullshit. Just another way to divide us. And America fell for it. And who started that? When did it start? Okay? Thank you, Latoya. Said I'm very handsome. Huh? Latoya, I'm 81. God bless. And I'm still looking for a lady. Nothing wrong with that, is there? I still think I got a little left in me. Hmm. Folks, I hate to leave you here. We still got a lot of people here. All right. So I hate to leave. I got my cactus. I got it on the out in the sun. I don't think where I normally keep it. It's like I expect it to grow when I water it. See, that's what we want today. Everybody wants instant gratifications. Okay? Nobody wants to work for it. 30 seconds or 3 seconds, people scroll, scroll, scroll. Okay? See, folks, you got to take the time. You got to sit back. You got to listen. That's what you got to do. Our country is not doing that. So I hope that everything that I have said on this beautiful afternoon, I hope some of it has gotten to you and make you think a little bit more clearly about the state of things and what we need to do ourselves to make this world a better place. And on that note, folks, I'm going to say good afternoon to you. I'm going to make myself a little bit of lunch, and I got to get ready because it's 1 o'clock. In 2 hours, I'm going on TikTok live. So you want to be there to watch me. You're going to hear great stories. God bless you all. All my love and respect to all of you.